Hi dear GATE 2024 candidates. The Powergrid Corporation of India Limited invites application for engineer trainee through GATE 2024. This advertisement was actually released on 26/9/2023, but due to Model Code of Conduct declared for election, they were unable to complete the recruitment process based on the cut-off dates mentioned here. And now, when the Model Code of Conduct have been removed, they have updated the last date for online application to 4th July 2024. Let's now look what they have mentioned in this advertisement. We know Powergrid is a Maharatna status company and the company is engaged in power transmission business with the mandate for planning, coordination, supervision and control over complete interstate transmission system and operation of national and regional power grids. They have invited application for engineer trainees in disciplines electrical, electronics, civil and computer science through GATE 2024. Then the details of number of vacancies are indicated in a second notification released on 12/6/2024. Let's now go and check that notification. In this, they have mentioned that in addition to the vacancies present in Power Grid, vacancies are also present in Central Transmission Utility of India Limited or CTUIL, which is the subsidiary of Power Grid. Now in this table you can see the number of vacancies present. When we consider electrical, total 293 plus 38 number of vacancies are present, where 293 vacancies are present in Power Grid and 38 vacancies are present in CTUIL. Then in civil, 47 plus 6 vacancies are present, in computer science 31 plus 6 vacancies are present and in electronics 2 plus 12 vacancies are present. And in this table you can also see the number of vacancies present for different reservation categories. You can go through it. And in this table you can see the details of vacancies present for PWBD reservation categories. You can go through it. Then they have mentioned that posting locations of selected candidates in Power Grid are likely to be in any of the Power Grid offices, substations, transmission line offices, construction sites spread across the country and abroad. And for CTUIL, selected candidates shall be posted in CTUIL office. And for electronics discipline, postings may also be in telecom. Let's now go back to detailed advertisement to see the eligibility criteria required to apply for this post. The first criteria required is the candidates must need a valid GATE score in GATE 2024. They have mentioned that to apply for engineer trainee in electrical, electronics, civil and computer science, you must need a valid GATE score in EE, EC, CE and CS respectively. And in addition to the GATE score, you must need a full-time BE or BTech or BSc engineering from recognized university or institute. Then when we consider electrical discipline, electrical or electrical power or electrical and electronics or power systems engineering or power engineering candidates can also apply under electrical. And when we consider electronics discipline, electronics or electronics and communication or electronics and telecommunication or electronics and electrical communication or telecommunication engineering candidates can also apply under electronics. Then when we consider civil discipline, only civil engineering candidates can apply under civil. And when we consider computer science discipline, computer science or computer engineering or information technology candidates can apply under computer science. Then about percentage of marks required, they have mentioned that minimum 60% or equivalent CGPA is required to apply for this post. Then the upper age limit is 28 years as on 31/12/2023. Then about final year or final semester students, they have mentioned that the final year or final semester students who expect their final results by 14/8/2024 are also eligible to apply, provided they have obtained minimum 60% marks or equivalent CGPA in aggregate of all semesters or years up to pre-final examination. And in case of selection, their candidature shall be subject to their securing minimum 60% marks in essential qualification. And such candidates need to mention their marks up to pre-final examination while filling up the online application form for Power Grid. Let's now look what they have mentioned about relaxations and concessions. In this table, they have mentioned the post suitable for subcategories of PWBD. You can go through it. And they have mentioned that persons suffering from not less than 40% of the relevant disability shall only be eligible for the benefit for PWBD. Then about relaxation in marks in essential qualification for SC/ST and PWBD candidates, they have mentioned that qualifying marks in essential qualification is relaxed to pass marks for post reserved for the respective category and PWBD category. Then when we consider the relaxation in upper age limit, for OBC non-creamy layer candidates, 3 years of age relaxation is present. For SC/ST candidates, 5 years of age relaxation is present. For PWBD candidates, 10 years of age relaxation is present. And for ex-servicemen and victims of rights, age relaxation as per Government of India directives is present. Then the candidates belonging to the reservation category must produce a valid reservation certificate to prove their category. Then they have mentioned that SC/ST, PWBD and ex-servicemen candidates are exempted from payment of application fee. Then let's look what they have mentioned about selection process. They have mentioned that the selection process consists of marks obtained in the corresponding paper of GATE 2024, group discussion and personal interview. And the candidates qualified in corresponding paper of GATE 2024 shall only be eligible to be considered for the next stage of selection. And the qualified candidates shall be shortlisted category-wise for group discussion and personal interview based on their normalized marks out of 100 in GATE 2024 in the corresponding paper. Then they have mentioned that the candidates shall have the option of appearing in the GD and interview in Hindi or English. And the candidates shall obtain information about their status through their login at the Powergrid online application system. Then the shortlisted candidates shall be able to download their interview call letter and other relevant documents through the candidate login. And the candidates shortlisted for the group discussion and interview shall be required to bring the documents as mentioned in their interview call letter. Then they have mentioned that the candidates must qualify in the personal interview in order to be considered for empanelment. And the qualifying percentage in interview for different categories are mentioned here. For unreserved and EWS category, 40% is required, and for OBC non-creamy layer, SC/ST and PWBD, 30% is required. And the group discussion will not have any qualifying marks. Then they have mentioned that for calculation of final score of a candidate for empanelment, the weightage of marks obtained in GATE 2024 group discussion and interview shall be as indicated here. For GATE 2024 marks, weightage is 85%. For group discussion, weightage is 3%. For personal interview, weightage is 12%. Then about the empanelment of candidates, they have mentioned that candidates shortlisted for GD and interview may have to undergo psychometric assessment, and the results of which shall be used as an input during the interview. And the candidates who qualify in the personal interview will only be adjudged suitable for empanelment. Therefore, it is again reiterated that candidates will have to qualify in GATE 2024 and in personal interview separately in order to be considered eligible for empanelment. Then they have mentioned that only GATE 2024 score is valid for this recruitment process. That means GATE score of 2023 or prior is not valid. Then they have mentioned that the offer of appointment shall be issued to the suitable candidates in the order of category-wise merit and based on the requirement. And selected candidates shall be notified through their login in online application system. Then they have mentioned that the appointment of selected candidates will be subject to their being found medically fit in the pre-employment medical examination to be conducted as per Powergrid norms and standards of medical fitness. And the applicants should have sound health. No relaxation in Powergrid medical norms is allowed. Then for details of standards on medical fitness, you can visit the career section of the website www.powergrid.in. Then about the compensation package, they have mentioned that the selected candidates will be placed in the pay scale of Rs 40,000 to 1,40,000 with 3% increment in annum during the 1-year training period. And on successful completion of training, the candidates will be absorbed as engineer in E2 scale with a pay scale of Rs 50,000 to 1,60,000 with 3% increment in annum. And in addition to this, you will get DA, HRA, allowances and other benefits. that are mentioned here. You can go through it. Then you need to sign a service agreement bond. They have mentioned that the selected candidates will be required to execute a service agreement bond to successfully complete the prescribed training period and thereafter serve the organization for at least 3 years. And the amount of bond is rupees 5 lakh for general, OBC, non-privileged and EWS candidates and rupees 2,50,000 for SC/ST and PWBD candidates. Then important instructions for registration and application are mentioned here, and here they have mentioned that SC/ST, PWBD, ex-servicemen and departmental candidates are exempted from payment of application fees, and all other candidates are required to log into your candidate login section and then deposit non-refundable application fees of rupees 500 through online mode only. And on submission of application fees, your application process will be treated as complete. Then you don't worry about the dates mentioned here. These dates are updated and the last date for online application is 4th July 2024. Then they have mentioned that the candidates will be required to retain their GATE 2024 admit card and GATE 2024 scorecard for verification at the time of GD interview, pre-employment medical examination and joining in Powergrid. Then general information and instructions to the candidates are mentioned here. You can go through it. Let's now look how to apply in detail from the notification released on 12/6/2024. They have mentioned that from 12th June 2024 onwards, candidates have to register themselves online at Powergrid website www.powergrid.in with details of their GATE 2024 registration number and other required information. Then online application shall close on 4th July 2024. Then they have mentioned that GATE registration number as appearing on the GATE 2024 admit card needs to be entered carefully in the online application form. No other number should be entered as GATE 2024 registration number while applying to Powergrid. And once your application is submitted, no request regarding change in GATE registration number or name or any other details shall be entertained. So enter your name and other details exactly as entered in your GATE admit card. Then you need to fill the email ID and alternative email ID fields carefully because all important communication shall be through emails only. Then upon completion, the candidate should submit the online application by clicking the submit button at the end of the page. And if the same is accepted, the system will generate a unique Powergrid registration number which shall appear in the completed application form. Then if candidate is not exempted from payment of application fees, then he or she is required to log in to candidate login section and then deposit non-refundable application fee of rupees 500 through online mode. And the application process will be treated as complete only on submission of application fees. Then no hard copy of application is required to be sent to any address by post. Then important instructions to the candidates including the size of photograph and size of signature are mentioned here. You can go through it. Also the revised dates are mentioned in this table. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe and share this channel.